All right, we are live.
Ooh.
Woohoo!
We're up.
All right, we might just wait a couple of minutes. Let a few in. Started. All right, let's try and do the. That's okay. That was fun. Perfect. All right. Well, welcome, guys, to our Tech Isn't the Answer Strategies webinar. My name's Bonnie Nicolas from Morphability, and I'm joined today by Karen Taylor at KX2. Thanks for coming on.
Wow, thanks for having us, Bonnie. It's wonderful space.
I
Love
know.
the space.
Yes.
Got the lighting right, so that's good. That's good.
Thanks for your expertise. Yeah, definitely a shout out today to Lucas at Crofty. I will put it in the chat, but for all your AI needs, he is your man up in Brisbane. But yeah, we're here today in his studio, and we're here to talk about digital transformation, which we're really going to unfold what that means. When it comes to some housekeeping, the session will go for about an hour. Usually we'll do a Q&A at the end, but I don't mind doing Q&A through the session. I actually quite like it, especially because the questions that you want to ask now. And we'll be able to...
relevant then, aren't they?
Yeah, much better. Sure. So I'll be watching the chat or the Q&A section. If you have any questions, make sure you put them in. We've got a few people on today, so if I don't get to your question, I will get to it at the end, definitely. And then we might be able to send out the recording and a summary of those answers anyway, following the session. So amazing. Well, look, I think I want to talk about why we're here. I'm running a bunch of webinars because I'm trying to highlight people in the industry, not friends, because we only just met a few months ago. It's not about friends. It's about when I'm coming across businesses that I feel are going to add value to the industries, or businesses that I feel like people don't know about. And this is probably more of that situation. I met Karen Taylor and her business partner, Karen K, which is the KX2 name, which I didn't even realize for ages, by the way.
Light bulb moment.
Light bulb
moment. Realize it, they go, oh, now I get KX2.
Yeah.
KX too. Yes, it is.
Love it. So we met at the ACS event in Brisbane, and I came over to your stand and I was talking to you ladies about what you did, trying to see if we could partner as well, being in different verticals but working for the same clientele. And as you got to talk about what it was you did, I was like, oh my, I had no idea. Now, I am trade background, so I'm 13 years in that industry. And then we also work with a lot of tech MSPs. Now, they may know what you do definitely more than, say, the trade. And I can tell you now, probably 70 to 80% of business owners or senior executive leaders in the trade industry do not know what you do. And if they knew what you did, they would be like, oh my God, we need you, 100%. And so when I had that conversation with you, I thought, okay, you are my next webinar, because I want to highlight and showcase what you guys do, because I know you can add a lot of value to our audience today. So tell us about KX2. Tell us about you and Karen and the business. And
yeah, sure. Well, we used to work together in a little office, probably half the size of this room, and it was in a trade college, so non-for-profit. Our histories, KK's a chartered accountant, and I'm business management, and I was finance and payroll, and she was like, oh, I don't know, management accountant, I think she was, but we were just in this finance room, and then we used to get drawn to implementing new systems and just going, oh, this is going to bring such efficiencies, get it. And the connection with the executives at the top, then they put in a mid-tier management, and it sort of like disconnected us. And we just went, oh, you're not actually thinking about the ground level business as usual work, the impact on the worker when you make these big decisions. And KK and I sat there and decided we'd just go into business together for ourselves to try and help bridge that gap.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and it's like, because the everyday worker doesn't actually get to sit in the boardroom to make the decisions and have this.
But they'll highlight the challenges.
Yeah, it's just like, what does this system look like and what can it bring to us and everything? And it's like, yeah, but go and talk to the workers, the ones that actually do it day by day, what pain points they have and everything. So we really want to be that bridge between the two languages. So yeah, we started our business, started in 2021.
Very COVID.
Very COVID. But it worked for us because we wanted to be working remotely and also then reach out to anyone in Australia and New Zealand as opposed to just the demographic of our surrounding suburbs. We
Look,
I can go big.
100%, and that's obviously same with us, Morphability, but a lot of businesses now are very remote. Just fly in and out when you need to see the clients face to face. Awesome. So you've been about 2020. That's amazing. I'm excited to dissect what you guys do today.
We didn't answer anything about what we do.
No, that's perfect. We're going to get into that. There is another business partner. Sadly, Karen can't make it today for a family emergency, but she's here in spirit.
Yes, she is.
So,
and for everyone, we go by our initials because who needs two Karens in the room, right?
That's true. So KT,
KK.
I love it. All right, so we thought about a name for this session. We said tech isn't the answer, strategy is.
Yep.
And I think that obviously speaks for itself. From my opinion, is people think about the technical aspect of the software and say, we need this, rather than looking at how we can implement it, integrate, and have those bottom line conversations with all departments and not make, I guess, executive level decisions at the top without having all that information at play. So in your opinion, because that's mine, I guess, and maybe some of the listeners on the call, and that's what they think, but, today's session title, what does that mean in your eyes? What's the point you're trying to get across?
For me, it's a really new orange is the new black sort of thing. Technology alone doesn't solve the problem. You have to talk about the new system, its functionalities, what it brings, and it's not going to fix everything. So you really have to find that best fit with it. But without a clear strategy, bringing in a new software system just brings more noise.
It does. Yeah, absolutely.
And then it's like, but this one doesn't talk to that one. It doesn't automate and send, two-way pathways, APIs and things. And I'm not technical, so apologies to all the technical people on the call. But we have a big picture.
But that's why it's good though.
Yes.
Because anyone in a business that's bringing in software is a CIO.
Yes.
Or someone in the business that a director has said, okay, you're good with technology, go find a software solution program to fix this issue. And they're coming in very technically mindset. Okay, well, this program does this, tick, let's go.
Yes.
Whereas you come in and put that aside and look at the complete impact it's going to have. And is it going to solve the challenges?
Yes.
Is it going to create more challenges?
Yes. Or is it going to fix more issues?
Yeah.
As well, because bringing it in sometimes, because they have their strengths, every system and software system has strengths and weaknesses. And you just go, oh my goodness, look at this. You've got 5 ticks now.
Yeah.
Where before it was just, it's a shiny new program. Looks good. I like the look of it. I have to sit and look at it all day, every day.
100%.
It works, but then does it do this and does it do that? And does it do all the technology that we need to then have a structured look at and say, oh, you know what? Over here, we've got these systems that are becoming obsolete, redundant, no longer required. Well, that's money saving. So I had a big picture is cool.
I had a conversation the other day with a transport company, and they had 3 induction visitor sign-ins at their depot.
Yeah, wow.
3.
Yeah, wow.
And I remember having this conversation. I thought of you guys, and I was like, that's crazy, because people want to bring in a solution to fix a problem, but they don't want to make a program obsolete because they just feel like obviously people will be against it, or they're worried that, they don't trust in a new program. So instead, let's have 3 sign-ins.
Yeah, right.
And then they don't integrate, which means for them to find out who's on the premises or find anything, they have to search 3 databases. Anyway, crazy.
Talk about that in a fire.
Yeah.
Like, you go get this one and you go get that one. But it often comes because somebody is familiar with the system.
Yeah.
And then they won't be familiar with the existing system. So they don't actually look at the existing system and see if it has that functionality.
Yeah.
So you sort of like go, hey, hold on a second, you might already have that and it can be easier.
Mm.
It really reduces the efficiencies and productivity for your staff when you get it right.
Yeah, 100%. So how is it that KX2 help clients determine, I guess, you know, where they need to review this?
Yeah, and it's a good question because like everyone thinks they know, and you have to leave the ego at the door, definitely, because we come in and we do like a digital DNA report. That's what we call it, if you want to do a like inverted commas. But it's a strategic audit and it's a roadmap. It gives client a clear view of where they are now, what's working, and where the gaps are.
Yeah.
So then they can go and help. We help the leaders to see how their business can be more streamlined, profitable, scalable, and it just
bigger scalable is a good one.
It's so good.
But yeah, people aren't looking at the future. They'll go in and go, okay, what do we need that's got the capacity for our business right now?
Yeah.
But you need to go, okay, what's your business plan in 10 years? Oh, we're opening up 10 other warehouses over here, for example.
Yeah, well, don't buy
that system because it doesn't integrate with more than 5 users. So simple things, but they'll go on board it and then hit that road. And I guess that's what you guys do, right?
Yes.
You are identifying not only the best software to use
today,
but also in the future. But when you onboard, you're looking at, okay, when we onboard, which there will always be hurdles to cross, is that when you do onboard, you're identifying that we know we're going to hit these 3 hurdles and here's the solution that we're going to implement to overcome them. So you're
bring it forward
to get this, so that when you do hit them, you've got it out. 100%.
Already got the solution.
And I know as a business owner, that's exactly what everyone worries about is we don't mind paying for the program. We don't mind implementing and investing the time, but it's the unknown of what issues we're going to face later on.
And we can talk about the experiences our clients and our people have had previously and just go, there's a real pattern that you might face this. And if you do, what do you think about this for your business? What do you think about what you would like to strategize moving forward past that?
Yeah.
So,
No, that's good. Awesome. All right, we'll move on to our next topic. So our next topic is from chaos to clarity, fixing the operational gaps, killing your growth. So I guess, what is digital chaos?
And when you first asked this question, I sort of like went, you know what, it's like your business systems look like a teenager's bedroom, like everything's in there, but you can't find it.
Yeah.
It's just a shambles. So but honestly, digital chaos is what happens when systems, processes, and people aren't connected.
Yeah.
It's it looks
Which
like
happens
all the time.
What percentage would you say of businesses are not fully connected and on the same path with their software and people?
It's a great question. And like straight off the bat, I don't think I've ever seen a business when we first go into it be completely aligned, integrated, without redundant systems, without ones that are losing their license, without ones that are archaic, not working properly, not efficient. I think we can all, and we all always put the mirror up to ourselves as well and just go, well, what do our systems look like? We're like the worst mechanic. Our car's broken down on the highway, because we just go, you're in it, but you still have to look. So I wouldn't say anyone can look at it. Yeah.
There's always area for improvement.
There's always area for improvement. Yeah.
I think, I guess it just highlights too how important your service is as well. But also with technology, there are so many software programs hitting the market too. So I think there's even a bigger push for what you do, because I think as a business owner or an executive leader, we're so overwhelmed by what to pick as well. Absolutely. So bringing in a professional like yourself to say, look, okay, let's just stop looking at what's on the market and actually go back to what's our problem. What are we trying to solve? And then having someone like you actually go out there and know the market and know these softwares better than I would be able to Google search them and then read up about their features. You already know the systems. So, you can do it in less amount of time but also provide me better advices to what's out there, because it's so flooded. There's so much.
And you're so right. Like, and if I could say, like, I've been in business for 30 odd years. Like, I'm only 20, but you do the math on that. But in business, you think you know the industry, you think you know the software you need. Okay, I need a new HR system, and even there's new ones coming to market every day that we find that's a new one, and so we have to go through and work out which one suits employment size, turnover size, functionality and everything. So even we don't know all of them. We don't say that we know all of them.
Of course you can't.
We get across a lot of them, and then when the new ones come in, we go, oh, it's like this one. So then we have a comparison. So yeah, that was very nourishing. Comparison.
True. Cool. So what are some of the signs that our audience would see in their business to identify the chaos? How would they know how would they know that they've got those issues that they need help with?
Yeah, and everyone's going to resonate with one or more of these, I imagine. And I did list them down because there's some really good ones. If your team is using multiple tools that don't talk to each other, and you addressed that before, like there's systems that the three, like that's a perfect example, they just don't talk to each other. That's a key example.
Yeah.
There's staff spending more time searching for information than actually doing the work. That's another one. Processes being held together by spreadsheets, emails, or that a system could do it more automatically or autonomously, I think the right word is for that one. Constant firefighting as a business owner and or a manager or a leader in business, instead of making a confident decision. Yeah, making a confident decision is so much
strategy. Having time to have the strategy rather than just making quick decisions.
Yeah, but also I've got this problem, and you have to put that fire out, because it's like, you get really reactive. So it's about that proactive as opposed to reactive as well, I think. So if you find that you're getting a lot of comments and fires that your staff are coming to you and go, this is a problem, or I'm so sick of doing this spreadsheet, or I didn't save it, or all those manual processes are an absolute nightmare for business owners, and they're spending a lot of time in that as opposed to spending a lot of time strategizing with their business.
Can I ask you a question there? Would you say that, so knowing leaders and what they're like, oh, it's fine, I'll keep doing the spreadsheet, that there's no other way, right? Would you say that there is a way, so there's either a software program or an AI something these days that would fix any problem in a business?
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny, it wasn't until you were just talking that I realized that. And I think for executives and business owners is know that, because when your staff or your management are saying, okay, I am not getting to doing this for you, sir, because I'm spending 10 hours a week doing this, that's exactly a moment where you need to go, okay, hold on, you're spending 10 hours a week, there is a better way. Not can we find a better way or go see if there is a better way. There will be a better way that can reduce that. And it's just about, I guess, having the person there. And I think that's why you guys are so great, is why would you go do it yourself? I would have no idea where to start, to be honest. And I'm going to spend way more time trying to find that solution. Yeah. But then you've got all the other things, like not only finding the solution, but onboarding it, integrating it with the team. Yeah. Another thing I thought of too is the question being around how do business owners identify it. I think, would a survey be something that's really beneficial
to their staff?
To their staff.
Oh, 100%.
Because I know that with us, when I'm managing teams, and especially when I sign on a new client, I go straight in. The first thing we do is what we call the 4 helpful list, and that is getting rid of all senior leadership. Yeah. I'm in the room with all the bottom line workers, and I'm saying to them, tell me what's frustrating you, what you feel like you're double handling, what you don't like about the business, what we're doing well, or not doing well. And just by that, you identify all those issues become the ones raising up to top level.
Yeah. And also a lot of people are fearful that if you take away those manual processes from them, that 10 hours a week example, you're taking away their job. Where we like to say, you take away that 10 hours, your skill set allows you to do so much more. So therefore you're so much more valuable to the business as well, and happier because you're doing something that's not so mundane and I have to do this spreadsheet.
100%.
So if you can talk to your staff and ask them, there be a myriad of things that you could do to bring in efficiencies.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Do you have any services to help the client identify the issue?
Yeah, well, like we talked before, we have that digital DNA report. That's the initial, let's have a look.
So what is that? Is that a meeting or a questionnaire or?
No, we go in and we sit with them for like half a day.
Okay, so you go into their
really
business?
get under the hood of the business. What's working, what's not, what pipes are connected, what isn't. And then we come up with a report and then we go, right, now you can see your gaps. So it's a really good tool.
Yeah.
But then we've got support services where it's ongoing and we can work with a client and a business and a leader, be companies, be tradies, doesn't matter. We can actually work with you ongoingly and support that transition.
Yeah.
And like we love some of our clients are 3-5 years long.
So is this after? So you've done your DNA reports, you've found the gaps.
Yeah.
And that's based on the challenges they're having.
Yeah.
Looking at their software, and then coming up with a strategy solution.
Yeah, and it's a roadmap then for success, a road for success. Like we go, okay, well, it's not just here's the report, see you bye, work that out. We actually go, right, well, what strategies and what do you want to put in place? What's your top priorities? What do you want to actually have support from us?
Yeah, which is what I think
we do.
Yeah, I think that's just the most valuable part.
Yeah.
It's easier these days to find the issues, I guess, but it's not as easy to have someone help you solve them. And most staffing don't have the capacity or knowledge to do it.
No, and to come from an operational aspect so that we can see the pain points of the business owner and or the company and the leadership team and help them strategize how to bring efficiencies and productivity to their staff, because at the end of the day, it's the staff that you need to have happy.
Yeah.
So having us as a support, we come in and we support. We don't like come in and say you have to do this or do that. Like no, you choose.
I know the benefit. It's super similar to Morphability as well, with that ongoing consulting supporting. Because quite often that's where they get so stuck and overwhelmed is they know what to do. You've come in, you've said, okay, here's what you're going to do and here are the steps over the next 12 months.
Yep.
But either you get sidetracked, you're too busy, or you just don't know how to do it. And having that person in the business a few hours a week to sit with, to go, okay, I'm up to stage 7. Tell me the best way or support me through the best way to get through stage 7. And then bang, you go off and do it. And they feel supported, like they know exactly how to do that. And especially when you've got change management to worry about, you need someone to help remind you of how to have those conversations with your leadership team.
Yeah.
And those leadership team have it with the rest of the organisation. I'm assuming you assist with the change management aspect.
100%.
Because that's a big part of it.
I like that along the way. Like somebody throughout our engagement with a client, you actually can see somebody faltering and you just go, they're getting stressed, they're getting overwhelmed. We need to come in and support a little bit more in this area.
Yeah.
Because we're on the outside looking in, even though we're in the team, we don't have that dynamic, the office dynamics that we are swayed with.
Yeah.
We just see people's personalities, and it's that emotional intelligence that we bring as well, so that we can go, Bonnie over here is stressing a little bit. Something might be going on at home, something might be going on at work, or something's happening, but she's feeling overwhelmed. Let's step in and, put our arm around her and say, let's do this.
Yeah, and it's important because
support, as opposed to saying you go do it.
Yeah, and identifying it, because you can't have a roadblock like that when you're onboarding such a big change.
Yeah, absolutely.
It can derail.
Yeah, it can.
And it can actually severely, I'm assuming, make issues for the whole development and rollout of the whole process.
You know what? Statistically, they say 70% of digital transformations fail.
Yeah.
It doesn't get implemented to its full functionality.
I believe you.
And doesn't.
Now that's a big one. Full functionality.
Yeah.
That's a huge one. Like we're constantly doing PD with our software all the time, but even I know that we're not using it to full capacity. And, I've got clients that use lots of different software, and I think they're probably using it to 50%.
Yeah.
It's like, Yeah.
And then that's
Great.
there,
That's crazy.
and then they know that that works at 50%. And then somebody comes in and says, I need something else done. And that's when they'll bring in that second system.
But that,
But this first one can
probably
actually do it.
Yeah.
And it's
100%,
just
or at least do
identifying
some
them.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
But I have to rate that we actually have 100% success rate of our clients implementing and adapting new systems.
Oh.
I know. Because I won't give up until it's done. No,
but that's, and you want that. Like, I know, I think we chatted earlier about the hard truth. And I think my first webinar, I talked about the hard truth. And that's exactly that, what the path I'm on to, I guess, help business owners come to is, we're here to upset the apple cart.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if we don't, we're never going to progress. It is just not going to happen. I see it day in, day out. You need people, and I think that's why consultants are so, like you said, they are going to give you the most honest truth. They're going to see it from a perspective that's not swayed and not, it just, and that's what you need as a business owner.
Yeah.
You don't need someone to just sugarcoat something or not put their hand up and talk about an issue that's there. And that just adds more value as to why consultants are so valuable, I guess.
Yeah, and definitely we give you the hard truths. Like, you may not want to hear it at the time because the emotions are heightened, or there is definitely always a tipping point where people are stressed and then they go, oh my God, and you just go, nah, stay on the path. Stay on the path, do this. And we often remind people what their initial focus and desire was. And then it's like, if you go that way, you're changing your outcome. So if you want, are we still on that outcome? Are we still desiring that outcome? And it's like, okay, well, this is going to be hard for the next week, so to speak, but let's get through it.
And they do every time, like you say, 100% of the time.
Sometimes we have reactions to it, but that's natural. That's human, right? So
I think the ones who have children, you just got to remind them of being a parent.
It's like that
everyday thing.
Take your vitamin C, you won't get sick.
100%. All right, another thing we want to talk about is beyond the buzzwords. What digital transformation really looks like in the real world. Well, firstly, what would you say is digital transformation?
Yeah, because it's a big buzzword, isn't it?
I feel like it's a buzzword, and I think that's why when we spoke, I had no idea what you guys were offering was actually what you do. Because I think when I look at digital transformation, I think way more on the tech software side 100%. Of it.
As soon as somebody says digital, your brain and neurons or whatever it is inside your brain goes, I know what digital is. Digital's technology. Digital's, the computers. I turn on the computer. But digital transformation isn't chasing the latest trend. Like, it's not about a buzzword and your misconception or perception of what that means. Like, it's about creating a business that runs smarter, not harder. It's aligning technology, processes, and people so that the growth feels sustainable. And that's really important to get the three. Like, it's like cogs in the wheel. If they're not connected, it just doesn't work. But if you have leaders that can focus on strategy and innovation, while the systems handle the routine and everyday work, it's the real world shift from being reactive to proactive. That's digital transformation for me.
Would you say the businesses that you have successfully onboarded a program or a solution? Would you say that, if you surveyed their staff, that they would all be much happier in what they're using, the direction, they'd feel like they're, not wasting time doing certain activities, or what becomes the outcome, like what are we heroing at the end of it? What's the outcome for the whole business?
And it's a real, if I can use the analogy of the road again, it's quite bumpy to get there. And then once it's implemented, there's a few months of getting used to the new system, because everyone was a champion in the old system and in the old ways, and this is a new way. So they need familiarization and they need time to settle into that program. And then a few months later, often you go, oh my God, this is so much easier. Why wasn't this done years ago? Like, oh, this has brought such efficiencies to me. Oh, I don't even have to do those 10 hours anymore. And now I get to work in this space. And so, but there is a lull or a plateau where they just have to get familiar and settle into the new routine. And then it takes about 3 months, and then they just go, this is great.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, how can we improve the system?
So they get obsessed with the change of doing efficient.
Yeah. And then they become really the champion in that new system. And then they go, oh, do you know it can do this? And we went, yeah, we do. Do you want to use that functionality now? But yeah, so resistance is so, and that's change management, like you said before. Resistance is really key in this, and just identifying that that's natural. It's natural to go, oh, it's too hard, don't do it, you know. But then when you do it and you push through, and then you get it implemented and adapted into your new business or into your business as a new software, then just let yourself let the dust settle.
Yeah.
And then you come out and you go, oh my gosh, this is so good. Yeah. And that's often what we hear.
Yeah. And I feel like you would have a lot of pushback too, which is why I think, you know, if I was a business owner or a exec leader, I don't think I would be confident to do it on my own, because you're just going to get pushback from everyone.
Yeah.
Whereas I think when you have that, you know, consultant third party business come in, being
the bad guys.
That's correct. But not even the bad guys, but you support, but then also it shows everyone else, I guess, how serious the change is that needs to happen. And that, you're supported by someone who's going to get you there and have those difficult conversations.
Yeah, well, you as a business owner or, you know, as a leader, you don't want your team upset or disgruntled.
No.
You want them just ticking over, coming in, happy at work, doing what you need them to do. And for you to say, oh, I'm going to implement this, and then they go, oh my goodness, that's, you know, too difficult.
But then you go, here's KX2, they're going to help you.
Yeah.
So it's not only helping the business owner, but you're there to support all the staff.
100%. And then we can talk to the business owner,
which is so important,
leaders and the staff, and go, I've sat in your seat. I've done your job.
Yeah.
Like, I know what it feels like to have this, and it's okay to have the reaction you're having. Now let's work through it. Like, and as I said before, we like putting our arms around them and going with them, supporting them, as opposed to, you know, dictating, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you have to have the hard truths and go, it has to get done. But that resistance can be
it's handled. Handled. And that's right. So we know it's there. Now, obviously the biggest, you know, I guess outcome for the business owner in this situation is going to be profits, right? Yeah. And I think that's extremely important, because I think you need to understand why you're doing it. And as much as it is, you know, you want your team to have a better time and be more efficient in their roles, and, you know what, at the end of the day, we're here for business.
Yeah.
And profits is what's going to benefit the most from having a streamless digital business, because it's only going to go further in that way as well. So, you know, if you are using Excel spreadsheets and things like that, like, that's probably a sign that you are definitely behind the times, and that there is, you know, every minute is $1, you know, and that's all hitting your bottom line profit. So if you are a business owner in a situation where you know you're not using the correct systems, or you haven't made that step yet, I think that's a big one as well.
Yeah, and it's really hard to tangibly assess return on investment for a new software system, because that doesn't bring in revenue. It doesn't, you know, it's not a product to sell. It's actually a cost to the business. Your return on investment is afterwards, when your staff have used the system, they're not using those 10 hours anymore to do this manual, as you said, Excel spreadsheet to present you a report. They just spit it out, or it automatically comes out of a system sometimes as well. Like, and then you've got the information that you need. Your staff hasn't needed to spend 10 hours of their working week every week presenting it or working on it to make sure it's accurate. And you then don't have questions on it because it's all in the system. Whereas they might have, you know, tweaked 2 numbers, and all of a sudden 32,000 becomes 23,000. You go, oh, what happened to that?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, so,
and that's another thing. Like, you talk about, and I guess that's why technology and, you know, AI is so great, because it's not going to be wrong.
No.
No matter what humans do, we're going to make those errors.
Yeah.
And the more, and like you think about those example before with the 3 systems, the reason it's so skewered is because when you have to double handle information from one system to another, you automatically open the doors up for that errors to occur, which will occur. And so therefore the second system that you put the data in, it's not accurate. You'll never be able to run reports from that system and trust it ever.
Yeah.
So then if you can't trust it, you shouldn't be doing it.
No,
but I've
spending
seen
all that time, right? And then
I've just walked out of a business that was doing the exact same thing with a CRM. Exact same thing.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing I saw was, and then when you speak to the staff, one guy's like, oh, no, I'm not putting entries in there over 10K. It's like, oh my golly gosh, like why? But then everyone else in the business was still doing it, but
unless there was a gap in the data,
which means the data is not accurate, which means every bit of time spent by everyone in the organization is now put it in the bin.
Yep.
Put it in the bin because it's completely inaccurate. To run a report out of the system is not right. And if it's not right, there's no point doing it.
Yeah.
But that's everywhere.
Oh, 100%.
I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. So when
that's like money, I just think, oh my God, there's 500 hours in the business across 50 employees that could now be spent doing
something more efficient, productive.
Billable work that's generating revenue, that's making an increase in profit.
Yeah, so there's your return in investment. Once you
that's 100% the return.
That's
your whipple increase.
Seen until later.
Yeah, of course.
But right now is the cost. You know, and some of them are expensive. Some of them are, 10,000. Some of them are 50,000. Some of them have licenses ongoing that take you into the hundreds of thousands over 5 years and that.
Yeah. And
that's a massive investment from any business owner and or company to say, well, where's the tangible ROI? What am I going to get from this spend? And it's like, well
first you're going to get time. That's the biggest thing. Like you go in and go, okay, this program is going to cost 10,000 a month. However, you've got 16 people spending 400 hours a week, for example, on that. Okay, 400 hours.
What is that time?
$60 an hour or whatever your cost is. Well, there's a very clear ROI straight away.
Yes.
And that's only on time that they're wasting. Yes. Then you're going to free up that time to then be billable elsewhere. So 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so it's good.
Oh, great. All right. I'll what was it? Okay, I know you got a mastermind series running at the moment. Can you share with us about the mastermind series?
Yeah, sure. Well, we've developed it because we want to bring transformations to life, and it's not theory based. It's real stories from us, from our experience, and how we've implemented change. It's the lessons we've learned and the results that we've achieved. It's also a collaborative environment where decision makers can share challenges, test ideas, and access the collective experience of others who it's been through. So what that means is that we want to get into a room with people and actually help them from our experience, our real life experiences, challenges, and then talk them through, give them PD, educate them, upskill them.
So is it a face-to-face program or virtual?
Yeah. So we go in and, 2-hour sessions or 4-hour sessions, and it's a series, and it's specific to, so if you're a CIO, you have, everyone is abreast of all different topics and areas of business, and especially business owners, they're across it all, but they're not an expertise in something.
Yeah.
So they could do one of the series sessions where they get more education on technology or people or processes and how that actually impacts what they might be missing, one of their gaps that they might be missing.
Yeah. And so is that online that you book that? Is it
Yeah, it's a great question. You just contact us. I think KK has it on Eventbrite.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So there's series that we have structured times and that.
So when you say series, you mean there's different topics for each one?
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, and they're all individual. But then if a company comes to us and says, come into our office, sit in the room, we'll put the CTO, the CFO, CIO all together in one room at one time, then that's not bookable through Eventbrite. That's actually contact us via our emails, and we'll make a time and schedule it in and work with them. So because the biggest thing I always
that'd be a tense conversation.
It's like
that'd be super tense.
All the knights put their swords down as they come in, And
they put them down, they do, they?
Well, that's what our request is, so that in the room they sort of like, you come together collectively, you're making a decision. It's a team decision and it's a team effort. You need all aspects of operations to work through.
And that's part of your consulting services.
Yeah. So my passion is to help businesses out there just become more efficient and have more fun. But yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think we'll wrap it up, to be honest. I'm really grateful you came on today. I'm going to put in the chat if anyone wants to get in contact with KX2. We'll also send out the webinar with the summary as well for everyone to have a look at. And yeah, we're super thankful to have you here.
No, it's been great. It's lovely. I always like talking about it and how we can help people. But
you do.
Yeah.
You really do. And it's only gonna grow as the technology gets
appreciate
bigger.
You reaching out to us, Bonnie, and
of course
having that chat with us at ACS event.
Yes, shout out to ACS.
Yeah, shout out to ACS. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll let you have a good Thursday.